No.
Okay, so we can get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of StarkNet Basecamp Africa, facilitated by H.E.R Devcamp. So I quickly want to give an overview of where you will get all the updates and what you can expect from this cohort. So we are recording all our sessions and we are updating all of these sessions on our Notion page. So this is the Notion page and this is how it's looking. And so once you will have to click the link that is linked on the Notion page in all the recaps that we are giving. So you will just scroll down to virtual technical workshops. And so here you will get all the details. So we have like last night we did StarkNet fundamentals, set up our environments, and did introduction to Cairo and explored wallets. So you will definitely have to double check the dates, and then you will scroll to your right where you will see the links to the recording. So we are updating them on YouTube, and we will be uploading them here. And then we will also be attaching the presentation links over here for ease access of the resources that we are providing for you. So I will just needed to give that quick overview because so many people are confused and are DMing me about where they can get recordings, where they can get details of everything. So I just wanted to remind you that all this information is actually shared with you in your emails and also in Telegram. So feel free to just click the links, explore it, feel free to scroll. You will also just look at the agenda over here, what you're doing on week 1, what you're doing on week 2, week 3 as well, all the way to week 4. Like I mentioned, the H.E.R Devcamp, so this is the first cohort with StarkNet Basecamp. And so we are doing this for the month of February, and these events are happening for 6 months straight. So in case you are confused about what is happening when, I will be updating all that information in the Telegram chat, and we hope that everybody here has actually joined the Telegram chat. Yeah, so that's just that in a nutshell. Just a quick recap. So today we are actually really excited to have Sarah joining us, and she will be actually taking us through deep dive into Cairo, building data structures, and StarkNet contracts. So I will let Sarah introduce herself, and then you can obviously get started. Let me know if you have access to, to sharing a screen, etc., and we can get started.
Yes. I Esther. Hello, everyone. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm unable to share my screen for some reason.
All right, just a sec. Maybe I can just stop sharing.
Okay. Let me try again.
Do you have access now? Can you share?
Yes, I do.
Nice. All
Okay.
right.
Can you see my screen? Okay. 1 second. No. 1 second. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm sharing. Share. Okay, yes, I think that should be showing now, right? Yeah. Okay, so good day, everyone. It's good to be here. My name is Oluwatosin Sarah. a smart contract developer, a technical writer, and the ecosystem lead at Oros Lab. Excited to be taking you the second session on deep diving into Cairo programming language. I believe my colleague had like given a foundation on StarkNet, on what StarkNet is all about, why StarkNet, and he would have also given like a basic introduction to Cairo, why Cairo programming language. So in today's class, in like 2 hours, we'll be going to data structure in Cairo. So hopefully in an hour, 30 minutes, I'm able to go through the slides that I have, so that the remaining 30 minutes we can like do exercise to practice all that we have learned. Okay, so let me slide show this. Okay, with me, you can give me a Twitter follow. Okay, so today's agenda, we're going to through data types and structures in Cairo, control flow and functions, array, tuples, and struct, ownership, references, and snapshots. And we're going to be doing an overview of traits and generics, though we're going to be like practicing it hands-on, so you get a more understanding of these structures, right? Okay, so data types in Cairo. I'm going to run through this very quickly because I believe there's been an introduction to it yesterday. So I'm going to run through it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop in the chat box. I would be checking it from time to time. I think one of my colleagues is also here, country cousin, the tutor that took you yesterday, so he can also answer some of the questions. Okay, so let's get started. So data types in Cairo. It's very important that whenever you're writing a program, you have understanding of different data types that are available, right? So you'll be able to know what to store in what. You get. So now we have, okay, so I have every value in a program holds data of a specific kind, right? Which defines the nature of this data and lays out a blueprint for how the computer should handle it. Cairo is a statically typed language that requires knowledge of variable types at compile time. However, its compiler can infer the desired type from the value and its context. So you should have it at the back of your mind that whenever you're writing your program in Cairo, you have to be specific, explicitly state its data type. So, but then for a value that you do not state a data type, maybe it's a single value, it will default to felt, right? So it's very important that you know the different data types in Cairo, so you know which data you can store in each one of them, right? So we have scalar types and we have compound type. Scalar types represent a single value, right? Scalar types represent just a single value. If maybe you're dealing with just numbers, they're a single value. If you're dealing with Booleans, it's a single value, right? So Cairo has 3 primary scalar types. We have felt, which stands for field element, and is of bit size 252. We have integers and we have Booleans. So for felt, by default, just like I mentioned in Cairo, if a data type isn't specified, it assumes the felt 252 type, which is, yes, 252 bit size. So I think I'm going to okay. So this represents an integer that is falling between this range. You see this range, 0 less than equal to x less than p, where p is a very large prime number. defined as this. So you can calculate this on your calculator, whatever it gives you, right? That is the range. So felt are integers in the range of 0 to p-1. When operations like addition, subtractions, or multiplications result in values outside of this p range, the result of what results outside of it is adjusted using modulo p to bring it back within the valid range. This is something that you should just understand, like have knowledge of at the back of your mind, right? So we have the key difference between a normal integer and field element is division. In Cairo, division ensures that x over y times y is x. So unlike the normal standard division whereby if you do 6 minus 2, for example, 6 divided by 2, you get 3, right? It doesn't work like that. It's not like that with felt. So, but if not, expected result may occur due to modulo p adjustment. So we also have the Boolean type. Okay. Country cousin, you raised your hand. Let me check. I do not. Is it possible to move your edge short to the one side? Okay, let me just close. Let me just remove my head. Sorry. Well, why is this difficult? I can't even see my head again. Wait. Okay, let me just stop sharing and share again. Okay, yes. I don't know if what question country cousin asked, but maybe he wanted to bring my attention to this. I can't see any question in the chat box. Okay, so we have Boolean type. Boolean in Cairo, it functions similarly to every other programming language. I want to believe that everybody that is here, even not everybody, at least 95% of people that are here are. Wait, can you see my screen? Yes, okay. So, because I'm seeing myself. Yeah. Can you see me too? Sorry. You can see me too? Ah, interesting. Okay. So it's expected that at least 95% of people in this Basecamp have you have a programming background, right? So you'll be able to flow very well, right? So Boolean works just like every other programming language, true or false, right? And it's usually come in handy when maybe you're using control flow. If say you want to print a statement when something is true, right? So you can use Boolean type. So, and then they are one felt in size. They are just one felt in size. Okay. So for integer types, we have the FEL252 type is the foundation of all types in Cairo core library. So actually, FEL252 is what the Cairo compiler understands. But there's a way that they are abstracted integers to make sure everything works well with these integer types, right? But what the type that the Cairo core library is written in is actually FEL252, right? So, but it's recommended to use specific integer types for better security. So these integer types include overflow and underflow checks. If you're coming from a background of solidity, you will understand well what overflow and underflow means, right? So using integer will help you manage any crisis that has to do with overflow or underflow, because it's going to, the compiler like is going to shout even before you run your program. So protecting against vulnerability. So integers are whole numbers, and each type specify how many bits it uses. List of Cairo's built-in unsigned integer types are these. Okay, so let me let's create a project. So it will not be like I'm just talking. To open, say the documents. Let's create our DAO. Okay, so I want to create a new project inside this folder. So I'll be doing scab new, what should I call it? Okay, let me just use exercise, right? So we're going to be going with pure Cairo to CD into exercise for that. There are 3 questions. I do not really understand this. Okay. Is it possible to, okay. Yes. Thank you. All right. Please confirm if you can see this, my VS Code. People are raising their hands. I don't know why. Can you drop a message in the chat box? Just drop a message. I don't think you have the access to speak. It's so small. Oh, okay.
Yes, we can see your VS Code. And in case anyone has a question, please use the Q&A and we will be able to assist you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, okay, thank you. So we have the integer size of U8, that's and once you see U is unsigned integer, it means unsigned integer. It cannot have negative values in it. That's why it's U8. So we have U that has U8 up to U256. So this is what U8 value looks like. U8 is basically all right, U8 is basically 2 raised to power 8, 2 raised to power of 8 minus 1. So that's how you get the size of U8, and 2 raised to power of 8 should be 256 minus 1. So we have 255. So for this particular U size, I don't understand the example you gave for felt. Okay, so I was just trying to explain the what makes felt and integer different. So what you do is that most of the time, where possible, just make use of integer. It doesn't mean that you cannot use felt 252, no. So like it's what make it a field element. It doesn't work normally as the normal integer would normally do. Normally, if you divide 6/2, what is it supposed to give you? It's going to give you 3. But in Cairo, for felt, it will make sure it satisfies 6/2. 6/2. What am I hearing myself? So it's going to be 6/2 multiplied by let me be sure, I think x over y times, yes, multiplied by 2, and it must satisfy this 6. Do you get now? Cannot see the screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Linda is saying, I can't see. Wow. Interesting. I don't know why that is. No, I'm not flowing with this very well. What is the issue?
Can you try to reshare your screen again?
How about now?
Yes.
Yeah, please just let me know once my screen goes off.
Okay, thanks.
So we can flow quite well. Okay, so Ruth Chisom. So with felt, division must always fulfill this formula, that x over y times y, it must be equals to x. Yes, while for normal traditional integer calculations, you just have your x over 2 equals to 3. But this is not, it's just like a knowledge that you just have to know that, okay, what like makes FEL 252 different from integer is the division. Okay. So as I was saying, Esther, you're raising your hand.
Yes. So some people are asking if you can actually enlarge your VS Code so they can actually see the code clearly.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
How about now?
I think now should be fine because I can see it.
You can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as I was saying, for U8, the number, the amount, the range that can enter is 255. If you try to store a number that is larger than 255, the compiler is going to shout. So if you know that the particular number that you're working with doesn't like exceed 255, you can use the bit size U8, and then you can, is similar to every other bit size, right? So if it's U256, that's going to be 2 raised to power 256 minus 1, and that's going to be like a very large, if you know that, okay, the program that you're writing, it has a very large space of number, you can just like store your data using bit size U256. And then we have U size, which is 32-bit size. It is similar with, it has the same size with U32. So, but then most of the time when you're working with arrays, you get to use usize instead. When you're working with collections, you get to use usize. So we have okay, I think I should just move forward, right? Okay, so we have string types. We have string types. So Cairo doesn't have a native string type. Normally, for a language like Solidity, it is string, right? But Cairo doesn't have a native string type. Instead, you can handle your string in two ways, either using short strings with single quote or byte arrays with double quotes. And then when you want to use short strings is maybe the data, the text that you want to store is not more than 31 character, you get to use short string. But if it is larger than 31 character, you use byte string. So let's do an example. So we have FN main. I think you should already know what this function is the main entry to your Cairo program. So let's write a short string. Let's name, okay. Let's name okay, so I want to show you something. Let name equals Sarah. So I want to just print this name. My name is Sarah. So another thing that you need to keep in mind is short strings, they use ASCII encoding, where one character is 1 byte, and 1 byte, you know, 1 byte is 8 bits. So if you check small letter A in your ASCII table, you will see that is this X is in 21. So all these characters, if you write ABC, this is 3 bytes, and 3 bytes is 21 bits, right? Am I correct? No, 24 bits, yes. 8 times 3, yes, 24 bits. So like that. So if we want to now write, let's say I want to write let's mode, my mode. I've not like used bytes array. I just want to show you how the compiler is going to be. Let's I feel, oh sorry, I feel like eating pepper soup and wine today. I know I cannot eat wine, but this is just an example. That is only what is coming to my mind right now. Right. Okay, so we have this, right? You can see that the compiler is already shouting. And if we check the error, okay, so let me use, even if I use double quotes, you know, normally byte array uses double quotes. Even if I use double quotes, it's still going to shout. So what is the error? The error is type annotation needed. So let's say I even want to explicitly tell my compiler that, okay, this is fail 252. You see, it's still going to shout. It's still going to tell me the type call cannot be created because short string has to be within the range of FEL 252. It has to be 31 character. So because of that, it has to be, I have to use byte array to store something like this. So, and you see, and then we have, so let me just print my mode. My mode today is don't worry, we're just getting started. This is just like very basic thing. Right, I just want to, so we do stab Cairo run. So we have my name is this, and my mode today. And then you notice something. This, it's printed in numbers, right? I told you if you do not specify the the type of a value, right, of a variable, is going to like default to FEL 252, and then short string is FEL 252, right? So even if we do FEL 252, save and run, you will still have this, you will still have it. So that's that for that. So let's move on. I'm going to be very fast. So we have compound types. Compound types, we have tuple type. Tuple lets you create compound types. Compound types is like you being able to create different data type inside of one type. That's what compound. Why scalar is just a single value. So tuple types let you create compound data structure by combining. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, you can see.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So we have compound types. The tuple lets you create compound data structure by combining different data types. Each value in a tuple corresponds to a specific type. So in a tuple, you can have integer, you can have FEL 252, you can have Boolean and whatnot. You can have different data types in a tuple. So what you need to like know when using tuple in your program is that tuples cannot change size once you've defined it. In Cairo, tuples are particularly useful for grouping data, grouping data, and can be deconstructed into individual variables. So a tuple is defined by writing a comma-separated list of values and inside parentheses. So let's work with tuple. I'm going to clean this now. So we have let's top. So is we are going to have let's do the same that we have here, U32, U64, and then Boolean. And then these values are 10, 20, and true, right? So now we want to deconstruct this tuple. So what we basically need to do is you have a variable that you store each of these value. you have a variable that you store them. So you can do let x, y, z equals to tuple, as simple as ABC. So now you would see that x will take the value of 10, y will take the value of 20, and z will take the value of true. How can we know which of the values? We want to see the values printed. You can do something like if x equals to, I'm already doing control flow here. If x equals to, what is x? 10. Print x is else. Print x is not 10. Let me just copy this. X is not 10. So save and run this. So if I run this, we'll see this is because we are not using XYZ yet. So x is 10, right? So if I change it, say let y is this. So this is basically how this tuple type works. So let's move to, okay, the unit type. So the unit type is, so there's always a return value when you're writing your code. There's always a return value. If there's no return value, what gets returned is this empty parenthesis. Is this yes, empty parenthesis, and it's the unit type. It doesn't have any size. It's of size 0. So this is basically is more useful when maybe you're working with an enum. When we get there, I will explain further. Maybe you're working with an enum, and one of the type in the enum doesn't have any value. You can use this parenthesis to represent that. Or when maybe you want something to return, but you're not sure, you can use this type, right? So let's move on. We have fixed size array type. We have the normal array, and then we have the fixed size array. Just as the name implies, fixed size. It has to the size has to be known before at compile time, right? So a fixed size array is a collection where all elements must be of the same type, unlike tuples, which can hold different types. Fixed size array require a uniform type for each element. You can define a fixed size array using square brackets with comma separated list of values. So this is an example of a fixed size array type, right? You have let array 1, and then the size of the element inside this array 1 is of U to U64, and it has 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to define and declare its size. Yes. So in the type annotation, okay, I already explained this. So fixed size array are efficient as they do not require runtime memory management, making them ideal when the numbers of elements is known and would change. It's very useful when you want to add code a potential long sequence of data directly into your program, like storing days of the week names. Let's say, for example, you want to write a code and maybe you want to write a code that for contribution, for saving, and you want to either make use of days of the week or month, the month of the year. You can just use fixed size array because you know what, like, what you're working with. So you can just make use of fixed size array in that place. So accessing fixed size array elements, you can access elements in a fixed size array efficiently since their size is known at compile time. There are two ways to access elements. Either you're constructing the array into variables. So what this is, okay, let me copy this so I can show you. And then I'm going to erase this. So this, we have my array, right? We have my array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let A, B, C. So A, you already know that A will take, just like we disconstructed the tuple type. It works similarly like that. You know that A takes the value of 1, B takes the value of 2, and like that. And the reason why we're using underscore is because you can use it as a placeholder, because you do not need the value, right? At this, like, your program do not need the value, so you can always either you type it fully if you're not a lazy developer, or you can use the placeholder. I mean, it's the same energy that we use to type underscore that you used to type D and E. So what we have right here, so once you do print C, is going to like print 3 for you. So the other way is converting the array to a span for indexing. So the way you do that, I will copy this. So when you want to repeat access, it's efficient that you use the span method once and reuse it for further indexing. So let me just do, I hope we still have a lot of time because we have a lot of things to cover. Yeah. So now, yeah, so we have let me just remove this. Yeah. So we have my array, and then you just converted your array, this my array, into a span using the span method, right? So you can always like access, because I mean your array is, you already know the variable the values that it hold, right? So you can, if you want to like repeat access, you can just use the span method. You can run this, just copy the code on the slide and run it from your end. I don't want us to take too much time. So we have type conversions. So type conversion basically is, you know, sometimes you might be working with data types that in your program needs conversion. So for guaranteed conversion, there are two methods to convert your data type. We have the into method and we have try into. You use into method when you're sure that the target type, the destination type, right, will contain the value that you want to convert to. Let me save that that much English. So this is what I mean. So you know, for this here right here, we have my U8. So let me copy this. We have this variable, this is the variable, and the variable holds a value which is 10 of U8, right? And you know that U8 can only contain 255 in total, right? And then the value that this variable is storing is of U8. Now you have U16. You know that U16 is larger than U8, right? U16, I do not put that number in my head, but U16 is larger than U8, and U32 too is larger than U16 and larger than U8 as well. So because you know that you want to convert my U8, this variable, you want to convert it into for it to hold this data type of U16, right? It would contain it. Even if you store 255 inside of here, it will contain it because U16 is larger. The destination type is larger. So that's when you're sure that success is guaranteed, you use into. But when you're not sure that the value you want to convert to, when you're not sure the destination type is going to fit into it, you use try into. So basically, I'm going to just do copy and paste. So we have my large 16. This is of U16, right? And it holds 204. Now we have another variable which is of U8, right? Is of U8. Now, looking at the variable, you will know that this particular value 204 is going to fit into U8, right? But you can't be sure. Sometimes maybe when you're not storing the value, like you're not coding the value, you might be writing a program that doesn't require you to like add code the value, and you're not sure if this particular type will actually fit into it. So that's why we use try into. You use try into because the destination type is of size U8, and then what you want to convert is of U16, right? You're not so sure. Then we use try into method.unwrap. So key points from these type conversions. So into is you use into when you're sure that the value I want to convert will fit into the target type. You're sure. But when you're not sure, you make use of try into dots, and then you have to unwrap it. So let's move forward. We have control flow and functions. I've already done like an overview of control flow. I want us to write like a program at the end of this. That's rushing a bit. So we have functions. It's very important. I mean, function is the building block of every program. So I don't think I need to like explain this, right? Function in Cairo, you use FN and then the name of the function. If it has parameters, you take in the parameters. So yeah, something like this. Okay. So I want us to let's write a basic function that works for factorial. Let's work. So for anyone that did math in maybe their college or so, factorial is basically if you do let's say 5 factorial is going to be 5 times 4 times 3 times times 3 times 2 times 1. So that's how factorial works. So like that, if you want to do 10 factorial, it's going to be 10 times 9 times 8 times 7, like that. So let's write a function that calculates factorial numbers. So the reason why I want us to write is I want us to like mutate something like a function that's calling another function. So let's do this. We are going to create a function factorial, and it's going to be taking in, we want to call the variable that let's say x. So x of u64, right? And then it's going to return a value. If your function is going to be returning a value, you use this arrow keyword. It's going to be returning u64 as well, right? This is throwing error because we have not written the logic. So for factorial, we have what we basically need to do is to we're going to do something like a function calling another function. So and then the first thing that we need to bear in mind is for factorial, 1 factorial and 0 factorial is 1. So we need to first undo that. So let's use control flow. We can do if x is equals to 0, or why can't I find my or x is equals to 1. We want it to return 1. We want it to return 1, right? Yeah. So else we are going to do something like, so if we do, let me quickly do a calculation. 5, 4, 5 minus 1. So we can have 5 minus 1, 5 into 5 minus 1, sorry, I'm doing, so we have 20 here, and then we can put it again for, okay. So we can do something, I don't know how to explain this math well, but what I'm trying to do is I'm going to write out this formula, and then we'll make it call the function again. In that, so once we want to do 5 factorial, for example, right? So we'll do 5 into bracket 5 minus 1. So 5 minus 1 will give you 4. So then we do something like it will call the this factorial function again and again until we are satisfied with what we have. Let me see if we have any questions so far. For some weird reasons, I cannot. No. So what happens if it doesn't fit? If it doesn't fit, the compiler is going to shout. When you run your code, you can try running your code. The compiler is going to shout. The compiler is going to shout. So Okay, so we are going to do x times, we are going to call the function again, factorial x minus 1. Yeah, and then now you know this main function is the entry, is the main entry to a program, right? So we are going to text it. So let's call factorial let's say 10. Let's say 10. So I want to print the value too. So I'm going to do something like, please, can you confirm you can still see my screen? This Zoom doesn't work. It doesn't work like normal Google Meet. Okay, so I want to be able to print the value, right? So let me store it. Results equals to factorial. Yeah, so I want to print the results. Print my factorial results is oh, I didn't put oh, let me just rewrite this thing. My factorial result is and so we have, let me save it. So we're calling 10 factorial. We want to see what our results will be. And then you can also confirm from your calculator. People are raising their hands up. I don't know why. You can also confirm from your calculator that 10 factorial is, so this is the result. So let's try out 5 factorial since we already know. Well, what is 5 factorial? Though 5 times 4 is 20, 20 times 3 is 60, and 60 times, sorry, what am I saying? 20 times 3, yes, is 60, and 60 times 2 is 180. Wait, don't I know mathematics again? 5 times 4 is what? 20. 20 times 3. Oh, yes, it's 120. And 60 times 2. My head is saying, so, oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. That was a mistake. My head was seeing, I mean, my mind was seeing 3 instead of 2. So I hope you guys are following. So that's like basically a function calling the same function, right? So let's move on. So we have statement versus function. So statement perform an action, but do not return a value. So for example, when you declare a variable and equate it to a value, that is a statement. You're making a statement. That is not an expression. But when it equates to a value, it's an expression. So let's say 5 plus 6 equates to 11. That's an expression. So expressions without a semicolon return a value. So like as you can see, in this one, I didn't put a semicolon. Yeah, so I didn't put a semicolon. But if I want to put a semicolon, I have to like put the return keyword. I think that should be in the next, yeah. So this is it. Return values in function. Function can return values by specifying, wow, we have just 1 hour to go. By specifying a return type using this arrow keyword, and this is it. So if I want to return the value, I want the value to return without this with the semicolon, what I will do is just put the return keyword, return, and then I think people are more comfortable. A lot of developers are more comfortable using the return keyword, right? It still works. So let's move on. So control flow, we have already done. I don't think I should be explaining a lot more because this is a control flow right here. So in Cairo, like most programming languages, control flow constructs like if expressions. Okay, let me go back to. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
You can see it, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so control flow. So just like every other programming language, right? Control flow constructs if expression and loops. And loops allows you to guide the flow of execution based on if certain conditions are met or not, or if you want to repeat a particular code until it's true, right? So if expression enables your code to run specific actions only when a given condition is true. In Cairo, it works just like other programming language. As you can see, we said, okay, if this number somebody is putting into this function is either 0 or 1, let it just return 1, because we already know that this is more like a constant, a default for 0, 1. And then else, if it is not 1, let it do the calculation again and again and again. So just want to save. So you will see that right here, this condition is true, right? This condition is true, and because it's true, it's going to return 1. But because if the condition is not true, if x is neither 0 or 1, it's going to pass to the next to the else state here. So let me run the code. Running the code, it should just return 1 already. Yes. So my factorial result is 1 because it's 1 and it fulfills this statement. So let's move. So loops in Cairo, loop while for. So sometimes you might want to make use of loop in your code. So the loop keyword tells Cairo to execute a block of code over and over again, or until you explicitly tell it to stop. So for example, let me copy this code. I'm doing this so we can have time to write our program. What is the problem? Okay. I think it should be a problem with no. Uh, let me just write this thing for myself. Okay. So we have, we want to write let mute I. Usually the conversion, if you want to like make a particular code iterate like over and over again, you make use of I, right? And then it has to be of U size because we are dealing with either you're working with array or loop or anything that like is iterative. You make use of the U size, which is 32-bit in size. So, and then it has to, it's starting from 0, right? Now, I want to loop over. So if I is greater than 10, I want, I think there's a problem with this code and I want somebody to help me with the answer. If I is greater than 10, we want the code to break. We want the code to break. And then before the code breaks, you should always print while I is not up to 10 yet, we want it to always print I is equal to I. Okay. Now, you can see the code. There's something wrong with this code. Can anybody like point out what is wrong with the code? Anybody, like 1 minute? Anybody? You can type your answer. What do you think is wrong with this code? You run indefinitely. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's just that you're following. So if I run this code now, because it's going to run indefinitely, why? Though this is breaking, but there is no point where I'm incrementing I. There is no point where I'm incrementing I. So how is it going to know, like, if this code runs, because I like this now, I will always be it's going to always run high, right? Because there is no increment. So let's try it out. Let's get my terminal. So you see what is happening right here. Let me enlarge it well so you can see. It's going to even tell me at some point that I should put a gas. As you can see, this is running indefinite. So I need to let me control. Why is this not working? I should just delete this. Start again. Yeah. So so we need to increment. We need to increment I, and this is what we do. I plus equals to 1. And so at some point, So we have this. So we have this. So this runs from 0 to 10 and breaks. And then there's something called gas limit that you can set when you're working with loops. So you use SCAP, Cairo run, available gas. So at the point where we didn't put the increment, so we can just make use of you have to specify the available gas. So you do it like this, available gas, let's say, yeah. So it's going to, why do I have, okay, I didn't put gas. Available gas. So you see, so once it runs out of gas, it's going to stop. It's going to stop. So it's not going to like run infinitely. So yeah, that's that. So once you want to like break out of a loop, you either use the break keyword or you use continue. We don't have much time left. So returning values from loop. Yeah, so one of the uses of a loop is to retry an operation you know might fail, right? Such as checking whether an operation has succeeded. You might also need to pass the result of that operation out of the loop to the rest of your code. To do this, you add the value you want returned after the break expression. You use to stop the loop. So this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to do right here. So we have right here, you will see that we stored this whole thing that is happening here inside a variable. So that means we want to like get the result from this particular loop. We want to store it in this result. And maybe you're writing a program that the rest of your code has to like know what the result is. So you can just like equate it just like that. And then you can also use while loop, just like every other programming language. So it runs while a condition is true. You can try that out. So for loop to iterate through a collection, right? Let's copy this. It iterates through a collection. So you have this collection. You have a collection and it has 5 elements, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. You can see this is it's calling a span method on it. So want to like iterate through all these elements, right? So you do for element in A, print this. So it's going to like basically print all the elements inside of A. Just as you can see, so it's going to like print and then just like that. So let's move to arrays. At this point, is there any question? I don't think there should be any question. But if there's any question, please kindly ask so I can answer. So we have array. An array is a data structure that allows you to store collection of items of the same type, right? We already looked into the fixed size array type, right? But this is the normal array if you want to like make use of array in your code when the item is not fixed, right? You make use of this. So when you want to create and modify arrays, when you want to first, let me clear this. When you want to declare array type in Cairo, there are 2 ways that you can do it. You can either use this and you have to import the array trait to make use of array. So you do let, and it has to be mute. And why? Because you might want to modify your array. Modify in the sense that you can append item to the array, or you can pop out item from the array. So that's like modifying. So let's declare this array. This is how you declare array, and then you put array, the type, the size of the array, the size of the elements that you want to store in the array. So let's say you want to store 64, and then you have to do array traits. Array traits new. So this is just it. This is it. This is it. Now, when you want to like add elements, for now there is nothing in the array. The array is empty. Now we want to append. You want to add elements to the array. You use the append. You use the append. The append method. So you do array dot append, then array dot append, like that. So when you're adding items in an array. So, and then when you want to like pop an item from an array, you have to use pop front. And you need to understand that when you want to remove an item, you can only remove an item from the beginning of the array, from the front. You can only pop from the front. You cannot remove from the back. So modifying arrays, you have append and you have pop front. And for pop front, a lot of times, pop front returns an option. An option is an enum. An enum, and then the option is, okay, maybe when I get to enum, I'm going to explain it more. So it has two types, two variants in it. The option, it has none and it has some. If the element, this is how it is for the so we have enum, and it's usually option T. Usually T is for generics. So for the option type that it returns, we have some T or none. So that's it, like basically. So if there's an item, when you pop from the front, of an array, maybe let's say you want to pop from the front of an array, but the item is actually not there, it will return none. But if the item is there, it will return some, and the type, the value that is contained in it. So that's it basically. I don't want us to dwell on it because these are very like kind of basic, right? Okay. So why did I erase that? Let me just okay, yeah. So when you want to access elements in an array, you use the get and the at method. So while both method allows you to retrieve elements at specific index, the difference lies in their error handling. For the get method is safer because it returns an option type, that option type that I made mention, which is an enum. So making it possible to handle out of bound access without panicking. So, but then when you use art method or this, it will panic if the index is out of bound. So let me just practicalize what I'm trying to say. So we have, we want to get currently, okay, so let me save more items. So now we have 5 elements or items in the array, right? Now we want to get the index. You know that the index starts from 0. So the first element is going to take index of 0. Second element will take index of 1, like that. So we want to get the index at elements, let's say the index of 5. Yeah. So let me just write it out. 2, 3. You know, because we do not have 5. 4. So we're going to do let's get index equals to let's use art first. So let's use art. Let's use 4. And we have to put the what is the issue? Let's get elements equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold up. Okay. Let me use, I don't know. I think I'm looking something out. Okay. Array. Sorry, guys. Please, if there's, as you're following, you should already know. I didn't call the art on. So we want to get for 4, right? Now we want to print out the results. Index of 4. Just want to run it like this. So let's see what we're going to see in our terminal. So we see index of 4 is 90. Same as if you want to use, you can use, instead of using art, I'm going to be clearing it because it's not, you can use the square bracket. The square bracket to get the index is going to do the same thing. So now, let's say we want to get an index that does not exist. 5 does not exist. Let's see what is going to happen. It's not going to, this method, art method, or this method is going to panic. It's not going to handle it well. See what is going to happen now. It will tell you out of bound. Index is out of bound. So, but let's use, if you use, wow, we do not have time again. So if we use, oh God, if we use get the get method is going to like handle it well. And then you use the length method to get the length of an array. You use is empty to check if an array is empty or not. And then we have a special, you can use this array macro, and that way you want to create array with known values at compile time, and then you can also like add to it, right? So you use this to create arrays with known values at compile time. So we have enums in array. If you want to store elements of different types in an array, you can use enum to, normally, arrays, it has to be of the same type. The element you store inside of an array has to be of the same type. But if maybe the program that you're writing needs you to create an array of different types, you make use of enum, and this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You can see the enum data has integer, felt, and tuple. Then we have span. Span is a struct that provides a snapshot of an array. Snapshot, like a photo, Devcamp. It's a snapshot. You can access the photo, right? But you cannot modify what is in the photo. You understand? That is how like snapshot works when you're using the .span method. You can use all the methods that is available for array with span except for append, and that's because you cannot modify, you cannot add to the elements. So what happens is a question can be arising from your head that, okay, if you can call all methods on span, that means you can call pop front. The reason why you can call pop front is because when you take a snapshot, so let me do an example for you. Right now, our array from year to year, it has an element of 5. It has 5 elements, right? We know that it has 5 elements. Now, if you want to take a snapshot of this element, what we're going to do, let snap short equals to array dot span. So what happens at this level? It takes a snapshot of everything that is happening that this array consists of, which is 5 elements. But now let's do something like let's append dot append at this point. Say we want to append a new element to the array. We want to append a new element to this array. At this point, this variable, this snapshot only has 5 elements in it. But at this point, array has updated. Array has 6 elements right here. So it only takes a snapshot. And when you want to like maybe access this particular, you want to access this snapshot, the element in the snapshot, you can just call the snapshot variable and then you access it. You can try this out and let me know if you understand. I think you should understand what I'm trying to say. Yes, we don't have much time, so yeah. And then, okay, sorry, I was trying to make a sense of pop front. So at this point, this array has 10, 20, 30, 40. Sorry. It has 10, 20, 40, 20, and 90. So it's still possible that you can pop from this particular snapshot is not going to affect the normal array. It doesn't concern the normal array. So what you do is snapshot dot pop front. Okay, it has to be a mutable variable. This would not work. Okay, should we try it out? So it has to be a mutable variable. And so let's now get the length. Length of snap equals, we want to get the length of the snapshot, and also we are going to get the length of this array at this point. Length equals to snap dot length. So we want to get the length. So we are just going to print out the length. Length is this. So for the array, so I want us to also print out for the array. I want to make things faster. So this is not showing error because it's basically just overshadow. This is variable shadowing. I believe the tutor from yesterday would have done explanation of what variable shadowing is. So that's why it's not shouting, because I have variables named the same name, right? So but I want to give it length of array. So we'll want to get the original array length. So array length is so I also want to get the length of the array after I appended this number. Array after. I'm trying to be fast. Array after length is added. So we have, we do not need this. So let's run it. You would see what we expect for this one to return is pop front here. We expect it to return 5 at this point. We expect it to return 5. And then for the normal length of the array here as well. Oh no, once we pop front, we expect it to return 4 because it has removed one element from the array here. And then this place, we expect it to return 5. And then when we append another value, we expect it to return 6. Yes. So yes, as you can see, length is 4 for the snapshot. Length is, but for snapshot, when you're using span, you cannot call you cannot append to the array. So let me quickly explain dictionaries. So dictionary works as just your normal dictionary. Let's say you want to find a value in your dictionary. What do you need to go? You open a dictionary, you open your book, and then you get the value. You search for the text or whatever you're trying to find from the from the dictionary. So you have a value and you have a key. Your key is what you are trying. Let's say you add a new adjective today. Maybe you add flabbergasted and you don't know what flabbergasted means. You want to check your dictionary. The key is the flabbergasted, and the value is what is going to describe for you as flabbergasted in the dictionary. So that's how dictionary works. So dictionary has is of FEL 252. So we have the FEL 252 dict type. Data type represents a collection of key to value pair where each key is unique and associated with a corresponding value. It comes in handy when you want to organize your data in a certain way for which using array and indexing does not suffice. So it lets you act like you're changing things in the memory. Even if you really can't do that in Cairo, you know that by default, Cairo's memory model is immutable, though it gives you flexibility of being able to like change variable, though under the hood you're not really mutating. You're not really mutating. I will explain that if I still have more time, right? So when using a dictionary, you have your key, and your key has to be, it always has to be FEL 252, and your value can be a generic type. It can be anything. It can be U25, U256. It can be anything, any value, generic. So when you want to insert a value into a dictionary, you use insert, pass in the key, and pass in the value that you want to insert, you want to store in that particular dictionary. When you want to get a value from a dictionary, you need a key, right? And then you retrieve the value. One things that you need to know is that keys are restricted to FEL 252, but value, like I said, can be of any Cairo type. The default is all key mapped to 0. So default, see, if you create a dictionary now, and you pass in a key that you just created, is going to return a value for you. It's going to return 0. It's always going to return 0. That's its default state. So yeah, like I mentioned, it allows simulating mutable memory. You are just simulating it. It's not like happening under the hood actually. What is happening under the hood is just like, for each data in memory, it has different memory cells that it points to. So what happens is when you change a particular value, it just points to another memory cell. It's not like erasing the previous memory. It just points to another memory cell, and that's one of the key features of Cairo, being able to like verify every step, right? So values for non-existent keys return default 0 rather than errors. I already mentioned that. So for dictionaries, we have, let me copy this. So let me know if you guys are still with me. I'm going to clear this. I'm supposed to import dict Yeah, thank you, Tosin. I'm supposed to import. The funny thing is, most of the time, you only use dictionary when you're writing pure Cairo program. When you are writing StarkNet contracts, you'll be using map. So let me not just go through let me explain this here. Let me just explain this here. So when you want to declare dictionary, you declare it like so. So let me do, okay, this is the Cairo book. Can you see this book right here? Is it moving? So we're looking for a dictionary. I want to show you something. Yes, so this is what I wanted to show you. What you import. You import the FEL 252 dict from the core library. So you can get all of this information in the Cairo book. Everything is actually needed in Cairo book. We're just like here to like guide you, right? So we have FEL 252. So we are declaring a new dictionary type. Balances is of FEL 252 dict type. Now we want all the values, all the balances that we want to store inside this to be of U256. So this is how you declare dictionary in Cairo. So when you want to insert, you insert balances.insert. Don't forget, key has to be FEL 252. And these are the key. You can use a number. You don't use FEL 252. It can work for either short string or it can work for number if maybe you want your key to be a number. So we have Alex. Alex is the key. Alex wants to save 100 Kenyan shillings. Now, Alex has inserted this into the balance dictionary. Now, Maria comes and Maria was like, I'm richer than Alex. I want to store 200. She inserts the key. The unique identity right here is is Maria, right? She's the key. Why she starts her money, her balance. Now we want to like let's get the balance of Alex. Balance does get, at this point, the balance of Alex, once it's inserted, balance of Alex should be 100, right? So we want to assert that, okay, Alex balance is truly 100, right? So we're just asserting that. So if not, you want to see balance is not 100. Maria balance, we want to make sure that the balance of Maria is actually 200. If not, you want to see this error. So I want to change something. I want to change this to 300. So let's see what will happen. So let's run the code. So we should see balance is not 200 because, I mean, what Maria actually inserted is 300, not 200. So as you can see, balance is not 200. You can see the error. So it's as simple as that. Oh my God. Esther, sorry, can we, I don't know, guys, can we have like extra 30 minutes? Because I really want us to write a program. I don't know if it's possible because we do not even have, we just have 9 more minutes to go. Wow.
Yeah.
Time
I don't know.
flies.
Yeah, I don't know if you can maybe write the program for tomorrow's, or because I'm not sure if you can extend.
Okay. Here's what I will do. Here's what I will do. I will start the program now. I'm not the one taking tomorrow. It's Cindy that is taking tomorrow. So let me just so guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to stop here for the explanation. Let's write the code. So I'm going to like start like I will be explaining the program as we're writing. So if we do not finish with the program, we are just this person said, please, it will be over. I didn't get this question. Obina, please, can you retype your suggestion? Or you see what I will do? I think what I will do, I will make a recording after the session. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I will share it with you guys on Telegram. I think that should work. So let's just continue. You should expect that hopefully before tomorrow morning. Yes. So enums. Enums. So what I just want to share this. Can you see this Cairo book? Let me be sure if you can see the Cairo book. I made mention that yes, anonymous. I'm going to just do the recording. I'm going to do the recording. So I made mention that you only need dictionary when you're writing a pure Cairo program. But if you're writing a StarkNet contract, which my colleague would give, like she's going to like take you through tomorrow, when you want to store mapping, when you want to like have a mapping, you want to have recording like that, you make use of map. Let me show you. You can see all things that you need is actually in the Cairo book, right? So you can refer to the Cairo books. So this is storage mapping right here. So you have, see, it just works as dictionary, key to hash. This is it. You use mapping instead of dictionary. So right here, the user values is the variable, and then this is the mapping. It's storing the mapping of contract address. The contract address is the key, and the U64 is the value. Yes, I'm going to. Are you saying you can take them through quickly tomorrow? Okay, sorry, I didn't get that, but let me just continue. I have, I think 15 minutes more because Esther brought me in about 50, she took 10 minutes of the time. So we have enums. Enums is short for enumerations. They allow you to define a custom type that has a fixed size, a fixed set of named values known as variants. So for instance, let's say you're writing a particular program that you want to store the statuses of a task. You want to like say you're writing a to-do program, and then you want to track the status, say, okay, you're in progress of a particular task, or you have completed it, or on hold, or something like that. You can make use of enums. So each value in enum is a unique value of that enum type. right? So you also can save, you can also have different data, right, for enum, different data type. So for struct, Cairo, struct is structures in it provides a way to define a type that has multiple related data field under a single umbrella. Let's say, for instance, you want to record, you want to build an application that keeps track of record of students in a particular school. What do you need? Students can be in different classes, or they can be in different departments. So you need to like structure this. You can use struct to structure this particular data, right? You can have the name of the student, the department the student is in, the email address, how many courses the student is studying. So each of these, they are related. So for each student will have like each of these data. So that's how you can store struct. This is just an example. Say you are creating a software for a library, and you need to model a book. A book needs to have title, a book needs to have author, and the publication year. So you store all of this in a struct with its different type. Okay. Thank you, Cindy. Though, thank you so much. So, though, the recording I'm going to do, you can always like do a refresher. I think it would be better to do a refresher. I was thinking of writing a model. Let's say we want to write a program for a coffee shop, ordering system. So that was the program I wanted to do. So, and then it's going to have traits, of course, and all of that. But yes, please take them through it. So struct, I think this is where I'll be stopping. Wow, even ownership preference. Okay, so difference between struct and tuple. They can both hold multiple related values together, right? But the values in a struct and tuple can be of different types, yes. In a tuple, the values are accessed by position. They are accessed by position. Tuple.0, tuple.1, the position. But in a struct, each value is named. So the struct, it could have, let's say, students, for example, and then it has name, FEL 252. It has name, it has age of U64, and so on and so forth. So the way you access struct is you use the name field, right? And then you can access it anyhow. You can update age before you update name. So that's what this means. Order does not matter for struct, but for tuples, order matters. So yes, this is an example. This is an example of writing to my book. The book has, this is it. The book has title, author, and publication year. And we want to write to my book. The title is The Great This, the author is this, and the publication year is this. So when you want to access a field in this particular book, you just do my book.title, and then you can print out this, right? So let me quickly do that. And that will be the end. Okay, so let my book people you want to access this field. So let's say we want to print out the book title, print title of book is this is the last one. Yes. So we're going to have the name of the book. The title of the book, it came out in FEL 252. So I have this, you can use this to, one moment, StarkNet. I want us to convert, just want to show you a Stark converter in case you want to like convert your, so this is going to give us, you can see the string is the great this, and that is, this just printed out in FEL 252 raw. Okay, so this will be the end of the class at this point. So I'm going to make a video right now, and I'm going to share with you guys. So I would advise that as soon as I'm also going to share the link to the code with you. So you should go through it and try to replicate it. So I'm also going to be giving you just an assignment. You can submit it or just like submit your repo in the Telegram channel. I'm going to respond to your questions, and yeah, I think that's all. If you have any questions that we're able to cover, please do well to answer in to ask in the Telegram channel. So we are out of time already. So thank you so much for having me today, and see you guys on Telegram. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It has been a very intensive session. And really, you've gotten all the details right, and I'm sure that many people have actually enjoyed the session, like I did. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your intensive, content that you've shared, and I hope that we will be able to answer all the questions in the chat, in the Telegram chat. And yeah, in case you have any questions, feel free to tag Sarah in the chat. I'm sure you are in the Telegram chats. And also other mentors are also like part of the chat, so shouldn't be a problem. All right, thank you all, everybody, and see you again tomorrow, same time, for now another session. Bye.
Bye.